Hey everybody, this is Captain Yeet here with you for the My Hero Academia Manga Chapter Reaction / Review. This is going to be My Hero Academia Manga Chapter 390, titled Shoto Todoroki Rising. So, let's get into it. Been waiting for this. It was a break last week out of nowhere. It was an unscheduled break, so it wasn't like, oh, Captain Yeet forget. Nah, the break came out of nowhere. So, I'm ready to get into this chapter. And the very first panel of this chapter is Ida. Obviously, we know Ida and Todoroki get there early. Not early, but they just got to the battlefield where Dabi was. And the back of his calves, where his engine are completely destroyed. He was going into like... Well, I remember he was like, he couldn't run anymore because he like overdid his engines or whatever. Or they overheated. And Todoroki was like, no, I got you. I can freeze them. Plus, it's raining, so it'll cool down your engines. So he went full power. He was like hopping and building the building. But in this panel, his like engines are completely destroyed. I mean, they look wrecked. And then Ida says, "This is as far as I can take you. Thank you, Ida." 390. Then Todoroki does flash fire fist, phosphor, deliver him. And then we see Todoroki sort of cover Ida in ice. Not like his whole body, but like the back of his body and his legs. Next panel. Whew. They just zoom. They just zoom past all these buildings and they're breaking the glass for how fast they're going. We see, not Takahashi, I don't think that's how you say his name, but All Might's best friend in the police force. If we want any chance of averting disaster at Gunga, we need engine and half hot, half cold. It's up to you two. I'm counting on you. Oh, he's hearing what All Might said. You've been a diligent teacher, All Might. And he looks really nervous. That engine made out of ice sort of breaks and Ida falls to the ground and Todoroki's in midair. And Ida says, Todoroki. Oh, no, yeah, I'm reading that right. Todoroki-kun, thanks to you, I finally became the person I wanted to be. That's nice. Back inside the police station. I can't believe it. They broke the sound barrier. Jeez, they broke the sound barrier? My goodness. Their speed is on par with a jet fighter. He's constantly generating ice to manipulate their drag, while heating the air in front of them to reduce friction. And then that's when they fell in what he said. Ida tumbles. Therefore, it's time for you to go and do the same. Todoroki is running to the spot. Because in this, I didn't mention this, but in the panel where they break the sound barrier, you can see the gigantic Dabi ball of fire from last chapter. Everybody was trying to push back. You can see that in the background. And what the heck? Oh, something on my screen. I'm going to deal with that later. So stupid. He's getting closer and closer to the fireball. Dear mother, I try to keep this brief. I'm doing everything I can to reach my classmates' level, which includes having conversations with them every day. It's the letters he's been sending his mom. We see Ray holding like a ton of letters. Sweet. Sometimes our conversations led to arguments, but sometimes arguments help us understand each other's feelings. Sometimes my friends get angry and they cry. Not just for themselves, but for the sake of others. I want to be like that too. It's difficult, but I will try to do my best. And everybody sees Todoroki coming in, and Endeavor is still holding Dabi, and his whole body is like cracking up and fire everywhere. Todoroki gets into the fire and he's yelling. Obviously, that's hurting him pretty bad. Lose all meaning. If my origin, Dabi's origins, was as simple as this, if our confrontation happened sooner, and we see a panel of, on the right, it's a panel of Todoroki getting into this fireball and he's screaming. And then on the left, in the middle of what I just read, on the left, you see at the top left, you see a panel of little kid Todoroki crying, and he's charging up like a fireball. Or no, he's charging up ice. Then it's white in some words, and then it's, who is that? Oh, it's Dabi. Bottom left is Dabi. That's like all the disintegrating teeth. He's like charging up a fireball in his mouth, and it's also a text bubble in his mouth, but it's blank. But on the left, you see little kid Todoroki, and it says, "I still have so many things I gotta get out. Things I want to say." Next, what is this? Great Glacier Aegir. Aegir. I can't really tell what's going on. You can obviously see some ice pieces flying around. And you also see, like, I'm guessing that's ice. That's pretty crazy. This ice must be crazy. This ice right here, ice like right here, like a wave just going like this, like the Red Sea departed. Like you see that going like this in the middle of this gigantic fireball. Great Glacier Aegir. Yo, that's kind of cool. I can't wait for this to get animated, because in this picture it's kind of not confusing, so I'm guessing he came up really close to Dabi and did that. That's kind of cool though. But you know, you don't really get to see it in detail. The anime will make it more, you know, you can actually see it. But the next panel, you see the helicopter viewing this, everybody's reactions. The little kids are happy from the program. The used fireball's gone. Next panel, the used fireball's gone, and it's starting to rain. And Dabi's intact. Dabi's intact. Dabi's in the next panel. Dabi's on the ground. Oh, his eye. Oh, he might be dead. His eyes are completely black, but his body's intact. I would have thought he would have disintegrated away or something. And his skin looks normal. He used to be all black. His skin looks pretty normal. So yeah, he did this attack point blank on Dabi. He did this attack point blank on him. He's huffing and puffing. Everyone's here. And this is a nice detailed shot of Dabi. This looks nice. I mean, not Dabi, Todoroki. This is a nice detailed shot of Todoroki. He looks nice. Oh, I mean, he's beat up, but he looks... This is cool. I like this. Everyone's here. I see. Despite the circumstances, I think it's for the best. By itself, Great Glacier Aegir might not be enough to stop this. Compared to the first time we fought, Toya's flames are much hotter. Shoto. Oh, Dabi's talking. Everyone. Oh, no. Let me get to what Todoroki said. I don't think I can match its firepower. Maybe I'm not a masterpiece at all. And Dabi says, everyone. Paris. We saw Paris. Worthless old man die. He's freezing from the inside out, Toya. So what comes next? Oh, his body's frozen. That's why he doesn't look black. I mean, that makes sense. He literally frozen from the inside out. So that gotta be dead. I mean, like, remember when Todoroki did that, the Chimera in the second movie? He literally had like a huge ice like block come out of his mouth. I'm like, yo, this guy's be dead, but he's not. Okay. When in the next panel, you can clearly see his body frozen up, but he's still able to talk. But his eyes are completely gone. And Dev is like crawling his way over to Dabi. From here on out, things will be bad. Toya, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I didn't go to Shoto Peak. I hate you, Dad, and our family too. Yes, tell it to me. Tell me everything you want to say. Oh, that's another chapter? Okay. Right, I pushed you past your limits. I'm sorry. Fuyumi, I put everything on your shoulders. I'm sorry. Oh, this is Endeavor talking. Nasuro, I neglected you. I'm sorry. Shoto, I'm so sorry. 390 and break next week. So, yo, what the heck? Why do you do this? Why do you do this? This makes no sense. We see the panel where it says break next week. I almost didn't even see. We see the panel where it says break next week. So you assume this done. But there's another panel under this. Just put it before this. Some people might. I nearly missed it. I was gonna click off. I was scrolling down to see what it was saying at the bottom. Break next week. That sucked because we just came off a break. But let me see what this panel is. You see a flashback panel of Dabi when he was talking to Toga when she was lost in the city after the first war. Like smile, Himiko Toga. Smiling is why we live our lives. Toyaku. And we see all the Todoroki. Ooh. Oh my goodness, what's going on? Yo. So it's obviously that big fireball disappeared out of nowhere, so something's going on with Dabi. And Toga knows this. And she looks up. It looks like she's gonna cry. Were you able to smile? The battlefield changes. And we see Toga standing up while in Twice form, looking where Dabi was. And we see a buttload of Twice clones on top of Umuraka holding her down. But Umuraka's looking up. And she's looking pretty mad. So she's finna do something. She's finna do something. This is a nice panel. Okay, so I guess we're going back to this fight next chapter in 2 weeks. That kind of sucks. No, that really sucks. Well, last week was an unscheduled break, so that wasn't supposed to happen. We're supposed to get this chapter last week and then a break this week, but I guess whatever happened, I guess Hirokoshi needed a break for whatever reason. I mean, obviously it's hard being a manga drawing all this stuff all the time, so I guess let's review the chapter. Not much to review. I mean, Todoroki and Ida was able to break the sound barrier, which is pretty wild to even say. And that's how they were able to get to where they needed to go so quickly. And as soon as Todoroki got there, he did a new special move called Great Glacier Ager, which is pretty cool. He did it point blank on on Dabi. I think he was trying to say that, I'm guessing Fuyumi, Natsu, and Rei, all that ice power that was also putting into this helped out a little bit with this super move. But it wasn't like they all pointed the ice at Dabi. They were like sort of pointing the ice at the wall of fire that was coming in. If they were all like pointing the ice at Dabi, that would but I mean, it's whatever. But that ice power did help Todoroki to do this super move that dispersed all the dispersed a huge fireball that was coming in. And it also froze Dabi from the inside out, which is pretty crazy. But Dabi is still alive. He's still alive, but he still looks pretty banged up. His skin looks rotten. His cheeks is disintegrated. I didn't even know that. He doesn't have any eyes anymore. He's just stuck. He can't do anything. And he's just saying that he's hating Endeavor and everything. And Endeavor's starting to apologize to everybody. And then the last panel is obviously we're cutting back over to the Umuraka and Toga fight. Now, Theory time with Captain Yi. During the middle of this battle, Toga couldn't really change it. Toga could make Dabi clones and Tsuraki clones and everything, but they didn't have their quirks, and she couldn't use their quirks when she turned into them because she didn't love them enough. She did love them, but with Toga's quirk, you have to really, really love somebody in order for her to use their quirks, or for the clones to use their quirks for Toga. But that wasn't really working. In this panel, obviously Dabi's huge fireball dissipated, so something's going on with Dabi. Toga looks really nervous and sad. Her eyes are literally starting to tear up. Maybe she's gonna start to really like Dabi enough to make Dabi clones, or possibly to make herself into Dabi. That could be the case. I don't know if she has any blood of him though. Yeah, I don't know. But I remember that one chapter she was like beating herself up because she couldn't use the clones like Twice could, and she also couldn't turn into them. Well, she could and make clones of everybody, but they couldn't use their quirks. And she was beating herself up. So like, I do like Dabi, I do like Shigaraki. Why can't I use the clones like twice, man? So maybe now that she's like trying to, maybe those emotions of being concerned for Dabi, maybe he just died, you know, she doesn't know, might be enough for her to use the quirks, or maybe to make clones to make those clones use Dabi's quirk, which would be pretty bad. Army of Dabi would be pretty bad, especially as we saw what he could possibly do. So that'd be pretty bad. Break next week, which sucks. It really sucks. But hey, what you gonna do? I guess that's the whole chapter this week. It wasn't that long. I mean, My Hero chapters aren't normally that long anyway. They're normally pretty short. I don't know why Horikoshi, he does this a lot. He has the panel that says end of chapter, then there's a panel under it. So that's why, like, you know, sometimes when I see that, I just keep scrolling just in case. He done this plenty of times. He done this so many times. I nearly miss it. Man. I don't know why he does that. This could have literally just been. He could have just literally cut from this and go back down. I don't know, but it doesn't matter. So, like, share, and subscribe. I see you all later. I thank you all for watching. I thank you all there for being wonderful human beings. And I see you guys next time. Bye-bye. All right.